Just a reminder, nothing I share here is financial advice. This is all based on my own experience, my strategy, and how I see the market. You're responsible for your own trades, so always do your own research, manage your risk, and never trade money you can't afford to lose. This content is meant to help you learn and think for yourself, not to copy or follow blindly. Let's keep it educational and intentional. Before we start, I want to invite you to join the free trial Telegram group, where you'll have 14 days of access to the White Rabbit Box strategy and the morning routine videos. After the trial, if you like what you see, you can join the main Telegram group via the Patreon subscription. There, I share more frequent updates and real trade examples. You'll also be able to download the basic journal we use and the monthly statistics sheet to track monthly performance with us. I'm currently working on some educational content as well. A nice video featuring one of my strategies is coming soon. It will be released in the main Telegram group, so feel free to check it out. See you there. Good morning, guys. Hope you're doing well. Let's start straight away. So we had this grind down on Bitcoin. And on Friday, we saw an SFP on the LTF of the weekly swing low, which was followed by an aggressive move up. That's where we got the entry, with take profit 1 at the highs near the weekly open. This move was also influenced by some news, and, well, a lot of people got caught up in FOMO and greed. Profits were made too fast, and sentiment shifted really quickly. From people who didn't want to buy down here and were shorting to lower levels, into the rise where they suddenly started FOMOing into positions. Then we had a retrace into the weekend and some grind down and sideways action. For myself, I had marked out 2 levels inside a daily order block. And based on a bullish structure break that we saw on the 4-hour and 12-hour structure, I wanted to scale some profits back into the position. I got a small fill on the first level, and then we saw an aggressive move down. So overall, profits were made too quickly. Sentiment shifted fast, price retraced and gave everything back. Everyone flipped back to bearish, while price hit our bigger point of interest and bounced quickly again. That was also my second compound on this position, as I still had the limit set down there. So now I have multiple positions from this level. One is the trade with the compounds. Average entry is now 112,898. Another trade is from 111,151, and one more is from 111,048. That's the current overview of my trades from this area. Now let's see what we have and where we stand. I'll first mark out the weekly open and the average levels for today, while enjoying some chill music in the background. And then we'll check the structure. So on the weekly time frame, what we see now is a swing failure pattern, SFP, of the range. The close, however, is not ideal, as it closed below previous weekly closes. That's now our level to watch for any signs of strength on the weekly time frame. Price would need to reclaim this level for a more bullish case. What we also have for now is a weekly open followed by a straight move down. In a bullish scenario, this could be forming the weekly low, which could either result in a higher low or another SFP of the previous lows. Looking at the averages, we can also see that another move down would still be within range. So I wouldn't panic if that happens. Friday and Sunday were days that closed outside the average range, but most days we trade within the average. So if price moves lower, it's still within expectations. Overall, weekly structure remains intact, as does the daily, as long as we don't see any closes below these key levels. If it starts to close below, then it opens the door for downside, possibly in the form of a choppy break and retest or continuation to lower levels. But as long as that doesn't happen, this area remains a support level for me. Okay, now let's look at the lower time frames. I mean, there's not much that has changed. We're basically at the same place we were on Friday, so I can't really say anything too new at the moment. For now, we have some local levels in play and the potential for a lower retest. Best case scenario for a new trade, in my view, would be another SFP of the lows. But since I'm already in trades from this level, I'm simply waiting for the outcome. We might just range here, chop around a bit, maybe form a new SFP or a higher low. But honestly, I don't care much about that right now because my invalidation is lower, and all this chop is already planned into the stop loss, so I'm giving it more room to play out. One scenario that I had shared in the Telegram was this one, and it was one of the possibilities in case the higher levels didn't hold. It just happened faster than expected. I say that because I don't expect price to break the average daily ranges every day. Simple as that. So based on that, we could still see another low. But for me, it wouldn't change anything, whether it forms a higher low and chops around here or makes a new low. I'll stay in the trades for now. What we can look at is the yearly fib time, which as you can see is coming up very soon. We also have our cycle time hitting this week. So one possible scenario is that price continues to chop a bit longer and we simply wait for the new monthly open. With that open, I'd like to see a pullback followed by a move up for the bullish outcome. If we quickly look at the monthly momentum, we can see it's way down in the 90s. So I want to see how the monthly candle opens and where the pivots will be. Best case, we open below 100K, but for that, we'll have to wait. Now the weekly momentum is starting to shift down, especially since Bitcoin closed below 121K. That's not ideal, and the best case for the bullish outcome would be either a long sideways range or a fast breakout to the upside. That way, momentum could turn back up. If it keeps flipping down, then the pressure on the weekly time frame will shift more bearish. The same applies to the 5-day chart, and the 3-day is already clearly diving. On the daily, we have the pivot sitting right around 112K. That's the key level. For a bullish outcome, price should move away from this area sooner rather than later. Breaking below this zone increases the chances of more downside pressure, and we'd likely fall back into the previous range with different targets. So again, I'm looking at this area as support first. I don't want to front run any bearish scenario that hasn't happened yet. As long as it holds, I'll stick with my current plan. If it breaks, I'll make a new one. Simple as that. What to watch for today? If the 12-hour and daily candles close above this level, we'll have our Monday range set. From there, I'll look for new setups based on the open range. Until then, I'm already in trades and will just be observing the price action today. We've got a rabbit box trade triggered locally here with the target set at the weekend highs, already a solid spot trade with over 3% move so far. I'm still holding my older rabbit box positions as well and waiting for those targets to be hit. Okay, now a quick look on the local cycles before I wrap it up. We have the daily cycle lows sitting at 100K, so technically it is possible to reach that. For now, just unlikely as long as support holds. The 12-hourly cycle hit the level and now also printed a buy signal basically on the last low. So over the history, it was always solid even if it comes down. It's accumulation time for this indicator. Now on the 4-hourly, we can see the same. But again, it's possible to go lower, but that's often opportunities rather than fear moments. So usually it's support, as you can see here in the past. So from my side, I like it so far. Now, where I can be wrong on all that? Well, simply as explained, if it starts to break below this level, then it opens the door to take out some of these lows before the next decision. For now, that here is a retrace. That is fine. We also see a lot of poor highs left behind, so it's more corrective than impulsive as it stands now. For today, I just wait and see if they are able to reclaim the open range for today. If that happens, then we see a move up. Until then, I'm prepared for the chop or another try to sweep the lows. That's the plan for today. And with that, I park it up. Again, I invite you to check out the Rabbit Box for free or join the main Telegram if you are interested in more detailed analysis and the content that's coming soon.